So this is Yoga Pilates Fusion. So we're going to do a little bit of Pilates up front, and then we'll do some yoga stuff. we might even throw a little Pilates in at the end. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so we're going to start lying down. And you can, if you want to create a little bit of kind of an opening around your chest, you can take a rolled up blanket and put that underneath you, or if you've got a couple of yoga blocks, you can put one block under your upper back and one block under your head. So I'm just going to use a blanket. So I'm going to take a blanket, and it's not a huge blanket. So I'm going to kind of roll it into thirds, and that usually works pretty well. If you've got a really thin blanket, you can roll it up a little tighter. If you've got a thicker blanket, roll it a little looser. If you're using a blanket at all. Now, what we're going to try to do when we lie down is we're going to try to breathe in two different ways. So we're going to do at least 2 or 3 breaths, letting the diaphragm expand. And then you're going to kind of restrict the diaphragm a little bit with the abdominal muscles and push a breath every 3 or 4 breaths or so. Push the breath up into your ribs to get some expansion so that we can get the secondary breathing muscles a little bit loosened up. So one of the things with Pilates is we're trying to engage the abs and breathe at the same time. And so we're going to need to free up some of our secondary breathing muscles in the event that they have some tension. So I think the blanket or the blocks are helpful. So you put your head, let me get my clip up a little higher. You put your head in a position that's supported so your chin is level. And then just make sure your pelvis is level. You can rest your feet on the floor, or you can have the legs straight. Just make sure the pelvis doesn't get tilted in a funny direction. And then you're going to take a few moments just to breathe here. Okay. So I've got a little bit of a stretch here in these little muscles around my chest. I'm going to keep my arms relatively close to my body, so not too far apart, so that the muscles that release are the little or stabilizer muscles. Those are the ones that are more responsible for the breathing. And after a couple of breaths where you really breathe deep, or a few anyway, kind of constrict around the sides and force the ribs to move. Now, I don't like to breathe like that every single breath because it's not easy to get a really deep breath. The diaphragm needs to be allowed to move. But every few breaths, that does help make a little space. About 4 more breaths. Right. So I'm going to take this out from underneath me. And once I've got that out, come back onto your back. And we will just take a moment to notice if anything shifted. So for me, often there's a kind of sense of my back widening out. I like to take my arms and reach forward. So I pull my shoulder blades up and around, and then kind of massage those muscles in my upper back where the blanket was, or pillow or block, whatever you had under there. And then letting the shoulder blades come back underneath me, Just noticing if there's a sense that my breath is a little freer. Now, when you're actively doing a Pilates move, and you want to quickly engage your abdominal muscles, you're going to exhale through your mouth. It just lets the air come out faster and you can access the transverse abdominis a little bit quicker. And the way that you feel your transverse abdominis is that you can feel the sides of your waist kind of coming in, okay? So that's sort of a hallmark of the transverse abdominis working rather than just the rectus abdominis. So this kind of side waist draw in. And then there's also a little feeling of a lift in the lower belly, because that's the pattern or the pathway of those muscles. So when you want to engage the abs really deeply in order to move yourself or to sustain a lift in a pose, for example, you're going to exhale through your mouth. Otherwise, while we're doing yoga, you can breathe in and out through your nose. Okay? So we're gonna just add a little tiny movement here. So we're gonna leave the legs as they are. You can have them out straight or bent. And all we're gonna do is try to pick the shoulders up without using our neck muscles. So we're gonna put the hands behind the head. You're gonna press your head into your hands and really hold tight with, keep the hands and the head pushing into each other. Nice big breath, exhale, curl up off the floor. Just enough that you feel these abdominal muscles engage, okay? And not the neck. Head is pressing back into the hands. So we're just gonna warm up these upper abs. This little curl in. And some people get a little higher off the floor and some of us a little lower. That doesn't matter. We're engaging the same muscles. Exhale, inhale on the way down, exhale, curl up. One more time. All right, so if we've kept the head and neck secure, there's not really any sensation in the neck of pulling or tugging or strain. And we've used the abdominals and it should feel warmer in here. A lot of the moves that we do, we try to overdo it with the neck and then we wind up straining the neck muscles. So we're gonna try really to be conscious of that. So float your knees up. We're gonna keep the knees just above the pelvis. Take the arms out. We're gonna take the legs over to the side. And then you can either squeeze the knees towards each other and draw the knees in if you've got a tight space, or you can stretch the legs out if you've got more room, okay? When you come across the center, try to keep your knees over the pelvis, and then right here in the middle, we're gonna pick up the bottom. Right there, okay? Over to the side, exhale to curl in. Inhale as you travel, exhale to curl in. Inhale as you travel, exhale to curl or straighten. So we're just going to keep doing this to warm up the obliques. And we're not isolating muscles, y'all. The body doesn't work that way. But we're trying to make sure we get them all. How's that? One more time through these movements. All right. Now we're going to hang on to the right leg, and we're going to stretch the left leg all the way out. I'm going to come a little bit closer to you. Hopefully you'll still be able to see me. I'm going to turn this left leg on in a minute, but right now I'm going to leave it nice and loose. And if you can't hold on to your leg all the way, you can hold on with just one hand, or just let the leg hang out closer to you. So we're going to spin this foot in circles. And then we're going to go the other direction. And then point and flex your foot. Okay, we're trying to get all the muscles in the foot moving. Now, the primary job of the abdominal muscles is to stabilize the body. That's what they're for. They're not movers of our torso, they're stabilizers. They're meant to help protect our back and stabilize us so that we have balance, all right? So the reason that we train the abdominals in Pilates is to create a situation where we have lots of good support, good strong back, and we have balance, right on? So a lot of the moves seem like what we're doing is the movement. It's not. It's the stabilization. That's what we're doing, all right? The movement is to create imbalance so that we strengthen the muscles that hold us steady. Now, we're going to take this left leg and turn it on. So I've rotated this leg so that my toes point straight up, and then I'm digging my heel in and bending my knee. so that I'm really drawing as much strength all around my hip and leg as I can. Excuse me. Then with my shoulder blades tucked in, I'm going to press my upper arms and my upper back into the floor nice and firm. Now you can leave your arms a little closer to your body or a little further out. The forearms will just line up with wherever your anatomy says. But you're going to try to draw the sides of your waist in. And then this leg is going to do movement. The rest of the body is trying to stay still, all right? So we're going to take the leg across our body, sweep it out in a circle. Nothing should move. Sometimes what happens is like the hip comes off the floor. It's not about that, okay? It's about hold your body still while your leg is making it nigh on impossible for you to do so. So let's do that twice more. Keep that body nice and stable. Okay, when you get to the top, we're going to go out to the side first, come to the bottom so both legs are together, then come straight up the middle. Do a smaller circle if you have to. If you've got like a pop in your hip, try a slightly smaller movement pattern. This one can be tricky. One more, and then we're going to pause there. Put that foot back, bring the other foot in, pause, and just feel where you landed. We're going to switch sides. Okay, so the right leg rests for now, left leg in for now, and then spin the left foot. And then we're going to go the other direction. And then we're going to point and flex. Now, I don't use any of the weights or any of the other tools for Pilates for my personal Pilates practice because I feel like I'm still working on learning to be stable and use my body as resistance. And sometimes the extraneous pieces of equipment get in the way of that. So traditional mat Pilates is done without any of those kinds of tools. That doesn't mean that they're wrong to use them. I just prefer to stick to the more traditional while I'm building strength. If at some point in the future I'm so flippin' strong that none of this challenges me, then I might reconsider this. But for now, I'm challenged to stay stable and to maintain good form. And so I feel like if you are too, stick with using your body as the resistance and then let the other stuff come later. All right, so we're gonna take this thigh, put it up, toes are pointing up. I'm really engaging this leg. Hug in through the sides of the waist. Leg comes across, and I might have to keep my circle a little smaller on this side so I don't knock the plants over. All right, but it doesn't matter how big the circle is. What matters is that I'm stabilizing the movement. One more time. And then we're going to go the opposite direction. So out, down to the leg, and up. Out, and you might stay a little bit more in the air depending on how that feels in your hip. One more time. Really hold and steady now. And then we're going to take that leg down, bring the other leg down, give yourself a little windshield wipers. Now, we're going to do a move that's all about stabilization, but it's going to put us in a slightly more precarious place. So we're going to curl the shoulders up off the floor, and again, most of us overdo it with the neck. We're trying to pull ourselves up with the neck. So while I'm working on that, I keep my hands behind my head and I press my head into my hands. I don't need any more neck trouble than I've already got, yogis. So I might do this for the rest of my life. So in any case, I'll show you both options. So curl the shoulder blades up off the mat. Head is secure into your hands. You're going to bring your knees in nice and tight. Now, feel how your body is curled up. That stays. The legs and the arms might move, but everything else stays stable, okay? So we're not going to let the shoulders drop. We're going to try not to let the pelvis tilt. We're going to try to keep this curled up shape and just make it harder by extending either the legs only or the legs and arms, okay? So stabilization is the name of the game here. Keep that curl in. And if you find yourself overdoing it with the neck, just keep the legs in the game and the head and the hands supporting each other. Good, last one. Excellent. Now, we're going to do a little work for the obliques. And it comes back to kind of similar thing that we did earlier, except we're going to move the upper body and the lower body's going to stay stable. We're going to move the upper body in 3 counts. So we're going to come up, then we're going to see if we can go a little bit more into the twist, and then one more time into the twist. Not pulling on our neck, but in really trying to engage, and then one more time, all of the muscle in the abdominals using to twist the torso, okay? So we're going to do a position where one leg is in and one leg is out. It's very hard for me to talk and do this at the same time, so I'm going to set it up and then I'm going to stop talking to you. And then we're going to curl 1, 2, 3, back to the center, both knees in. Extend that leg, curl 1, 2, 3, back to the center. Okay, we're going to try that 5 more times. Try to hold your torso stable in the twist, so the hips don't come with you. 2 more. Last one. Good. Whew, that's a good one. All right, yogis. Give yourself a big long stretch. Oh. Now, we're going to flip ourselves upside down and come to all fours. Once we get here, we do a few rounds of movement. Just changing the shape in your back. Downward dog is in your wheelhouse. I'm not sure I should use that word. In any case, if it's a pose that's in your poses, you can do this pose. You can tuck your toes and head back into down dog. If it's not, then stay with all fours and you'll make it through. Or you can do a standing position as well. We're eventually going to wind up there together. Okay. So if you get to down dog, give yourself a moment to walk in place, move your shoulders around, and then find a nice stable place to stretch. And then you'll walk yourself together. Once you've kind of gotten yourself, so your hands and legs are close enough together, come on up halfway, and then exhale and fold. We're going to come all the way up to standing. Give it a nice big stretch. And we're going to find a little mountain pose. Now, I'm going to turn to face you for a moment, and then I'll come back to kind of going more in the line of my mat. So we're going to do a little balance practice. So first, find your mountain pose. And then we're going to try to sweep up and stand on the toes, and then come back down. Okay, we're going to try this 5 times total, holding it slightly longer each time. Okay. All right, so now we're going to try to hold it for a count of 10. So we're going to come up, lengthen, hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on down. All right, yogis. So we've got a little bit of work in our toes and in our ankles. I'm going to pause here in this mountain pose. I'm going to face this way now because we're going to do a little flow. So I've got plants, so I'm going to stay really tight to the center line to lift up. You can sweep your arms if that's right for you. Fold forward. Come up halfway. Exhale, fold. We're going to step back with the right foot. This is going to put us in a lunge shape. Now, keep your hips as squared as you can. We're going to straighten out the front leg and then bend it, okay? Straighten out the front leg and then bend it. Reach back for your heel. Straighten out the front leg. Now we're going to try to leap up. 1, 2, take that right foot off the ground. You can keep both hands on the floor, both hands on blocks, or if you're a little bit more stable, bring your hands up to your thigh, catch if you fall, and then try to hold that balance. Keep your eyes steady. Beautiful. Now we're going to step back into down dog, so I'm going to put both hands on the floor, try to get off the sticky bit, and step it back. So take a nice big breath. We're going to come forward into a plank. Now you can maintain the full plank. You can bring your knees down to maintain the modified plank, or you can lower down to your belly. Hold steady for 3, 2, 1. Now lower down. All right. We're going to come into Cobra. Lift. And then come on back down. Hands a little further back. Lift. Come on back down. Hands a little further back. Lift. Come on back down. Now, extend your right arm out. Roll onto your right side. We're going to stack the sides up, shoulders and hips. Bend your knees and bring your feet behind you. And then lift the feet up so the knees are resting on the floor. And we've got an internally rotated top thigh. We're going to open the leg so now we have an externally rotated thigh. Extend that leg if you can. Toes come together, knees come together. When you extend the leg, it hurts your knee. Don't extend the leg, just hold it for a beat and come back down, okay? Here we go. Try to keep your torso nice and stable, hug in through the waist. This is great for your outer hip. We got 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Good, so we're going to straighten the legs back out. We're going to take this top leg off and you can just put it out in front. I like to bend the knee because it stretches that area we were just working. And I'm going to place my hand just right in that little hip socket just so I have a little stable place. Pull my shoulder blades into neutral, okay? Lift the bottom leg up. We're going to pulse it up. 10, 9, 8. Try to lift from the side of your waist. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it there now and lift through the side of the waist for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then bring that leg down. We're going to come all the way back onto the belly and come back to down dog. Once you get there, take a nice big breath. Lift your right leg up behind you. Exhale, bring that knee in tight. Inhale, stretch it back. Exhale, bring it in. Curl up around it. Inhale, stretch it back one more time. Curl around that leg, hover, and then step it as far forward as it'll go. Bring your left foot up to meet it. Come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Come all the way to standing. Give yourself a stretch. We'll find that mountain pose when we come back up here. Take a nice breath. So we're going to take a big inhale. Arms come up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. We're going to step back with the left leg. It's right there. Okay. So find your lunge. Hips even. And then we're going to try to straighten out the front leg and bend it. Straighten out the front leg and bend it. What's up, hamstrings? Straighten out the front leg and bend it. Now we're going to try to go up into our balance. 1, 2. Okay. Hips as level as you can get them. Maybe you can come off the floor and hold onto your thigh. Maybe you're going to keep catching as you keep falling. Well, that's all that too, yogis. That's why we practice balance. Because it's hard. So we're going to take one more breath. Yes. Then we're going to take ourselves back to down dog. Oh, doesn't that feel good? All right. Coming forward into your plank. Hold and steady here, or put the knees down, or lower to your belly. 3, 2, 1. Coming down all the way. All right. Take your hands as far back as you can and still keep your hand on the floor. Inhale, lift. Draw the elbows back, broaden the chest. Float your legs up as high as they're willing to go. Hold steady here. Lengthen through your neck. 3, 2, 1. Coming down, we're going to reach that arm up, left arm. Roll onto your side. Hips on top, shoulders on top, feet behind. Lift your feet, okay? So again, we're going to try not to let the hip fall. Keep your hip lined up, shoulder lined up, draw in through your waist. Knee comes out, extend, bring it together. Hip stays nice and stable. Legs doing all the work. So we're targeting this outer hip and also using our abdominals. Okay, make it 4 distinct moves. Open, extend, bring it back, close it down. Good, 4 more. Good, I lost count. 2 more. I was so into feeling it, I forgot to count. All right, so you can do bonus ones, nothing harm in that. All right, so we're gonna take this top leg over, okay? I like mine on the floor, you can have yours straight. Hug in through the sides of your waist, especially the bottom side. Hover that bottom leg and reach. Here we go for 10, 9, 8, lift your side waist, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it there, lift, 10, 9, 8, 7, oh, a little bit more, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bring it down. Now this time we're gonna roll onto our back. I'm gonna go this way so I don't roll off the screen. It's the tricky part of doing this, y'all, with the camera. All right, once you're on your back, take your legs into your chest and give yourself a little back massage. Ooh, that feels good. All right, so we're gonna give ourselves a little happy baby pose, or you can stick with this, or you can do a little twist that you hold. So this is the twist. Legs come over, give yourself a stretch through your chest muscle. Happy baby pose, you reach in here, get hold of your feet. It's not an attractive pose, but it feels nice. Or you can just stay with the massage. Okay, I like a twist. I'm gonna go for that today, that's feeling the best. Take 2 more big breaths where you are. And we're gonna top leg, bottom leg, come back if you were doing the twist. If you're doing happy baby and you're done, you can let go. Just rest your feet on the floor. If you're following along with me and doing a twist, carry on. Back to the center line here. Now, we're going to take just a moment, and you can do this either seated or you can do this lying down, but we're just going to pause for about a minute, maybe 2, and see where we landed. So I like noticing, like, do I feel more energized? Do I feel worn out? Is there like a different sensation of just being in a body alive? Do I feel lighter, heavier? Just notice what is. Oh, use your own words. Alright, yogis, take a nice big breath. Let go with a big sigh. If you're seated, stay there. We're coming to you. Or I am. I can't speak for the rest of the universe, but I'm coming up here. So thanks for joining me for a little lunchtime yoga Pilates fusion. If you like this, let me know, and I'll do more of these on the lunchtime circuit. For now, let's take a big breath together. And a big sigh. Namaste, yogis. Enjoy the rest.